Women of Reddit, what's something every girl should know but is rarely taught? Still waiting for someone to teach me about menopause. Going through it now. No one told me about the insomnia. The hot flashes drench my head. Oh, and brain fog is real. And no one seems to mention that it's not a few months or maybe a year. I've been dealing with it for 4+ years. Absolutely ridiculous. I would like to speak to menopause's manager. Edit, for all of you calling me a Karen, that was the joke. Smile. I asked my GP how long it would last. He shrugged. Menopause. Average of 7 years. That gives me hope. 7 years and I am still running hot and cold. The insomnia is better though. Are you kidding me? I would like to revoke my woman card, please. I wanted to do that the day I learned I would have a period for the rest of my life, and then again when I learned I wouldn't. Your vaginal discharge is slightly acidic to help kill off bacteria. This is why your underwear may gradually get little holes forming in the gusset. Edit to say may, as many have you pointed out, we're all different and will have different experiences of this, staining, etc. I spent my entire childhood thinking the discolored patches on my mom's underwear were because birds had pooped on them when she hung them out to dry after washing. Truly wonderful the mind of a child is. If a doctor quickly dismisses your extreme menstrual pain, or any type of pain for that matter, as being normal or that you're too sensitive, try to seek a second opinion. My normal pain turned out to be endometriosis. Miscarriage is normal. Common, too. And sometime you won't even know you had one. Thousands of companies exist with the sole purpose of making you feel insecure about some bullshit non-issue, then selling you a made-up solution. Don't give these people your money. Acquire more houseplants instead. Spoken like a true big houseplant corp representative. S. Lumps in your breasts are not always cancer. Of course, get them checked out, but it is common to find cysts in your breasts. Source: found a lump in my breast, freaked out, searched Google, freaked out more, stewed for months, booked an appointment with my obgyn only for him to tell me, yeah, it's a cyst, stop messing with it. It's common. Edit, do not stew for months. Go to the doctor ASAP. Also, do not stew for months. Go see a doctor immediately. My mom freaked out and saw a doctor the next day. It was cancer. Seeing a doctor ASAP will achieve one of two things. You'll either find out it's nothing to worry about and you won't have to be anxious about it for long, or you'll find out it's cancer, in which case the earlier you catch it the better. Sorry to hear about your mom. How to measure a bra. Defiantly. How to measure and select the true bra for your body. Smile. Rabrith, that fits, since we're here. Smile. Ladies, when you go for a smear test, or pap smear for my American gals, they guess the size of the instrument, the speculum, they need to use on you based on your height. It shouldn't be painful, you can ask for a smaller one if it hurts. They just don't offer that info out. Oh, I remember my first pap smear, American gal, and the doctor, female, used the largest speculum possible. It hurt like hell, and I cried out in pain. Her response: if you can fit a penis up there, then you can fit this, and she shoved it further. I was a virgin, for goodness sakes. Only 13 years old, and the reason I was getting a pap smear was because I was having heavy painful periods that lasted for weeks. I ended up prescribed with birth control pills to regulate my periods. After that, I was beyond petrified to have sex. Please tell me you got a new doctor. That is revolting. You were just a child, and regardless of how many penises she suspected you have had, you were in pain. Not to mention that there is a huge difference in what is possible when one is aroused, and has been building up to arousal, versus when one is not at all aroused, as well as scared, uncomfortable, and has had no time to prepare. That doctor sounds like such a frickin' moron, not to mention a horrible doctor. I'm so sorry you had to go through that, op. And such ignorance from a woman doc, no less. Jesus. GRRR. Lactating women do not have just one stream of breast milk that comes out of the middle part of the areola. Yup. It all looks a bit more like a watering can. You have multiple ducts where milk is released. Adding on to this, people need to understand a bit lore about the basics of human lactation. How it works, what is normal, abnormal, and where to reach out for help, and to do so the second you have questions. Lactation issues are much easier to correct the sooner you get help. It's pretty normal to have some level of diarrhea weird poops when you're on your period. Sorry it's a thing, but if you're reading this I'm glad you don't need to get to like 30 before finding out it isn't just you like I did. Also, vulvas and breasts come in a wide variety of configurations. The range of normal is huge. Please do not rely on porn or any pop culture depictions to decide if what you've got is normal or okay. And asymmetrical breasts is common too. So are asymmetrical labia. Clean your makeup brushes. Your skin will, thank you. And your sponges. They're harder to clean but the gunk really builds up if you leave them. Financial planning. You can't and shouldn't depend on Prince Charming to rescue you. Go pee after every time you have sex. It helps reduce UTIs. I didn't know this until the last few years, I'm 25, and it made a difference. There is a vaccine for UTIs available in Germany and Switzerland called Strovox. It's about 85% effective at preventing UTIs in women who experience them chronically, and getting the series of shots changed my life. For each of the 20 years prior to receiving the vaccine, I had 1 to 2 UTIs requiring antibiotics and 4 to 6 that P did not feel great, FML events which I was able to treat with a sodium citrate regimen, copious fluids, and daily dipstick tests. In the 2 years since the shot, I have had 1 FML incident. It's 3 shots given over 28 days, and costs $65 per shot without insurance. Not available yet in the US, but I think there might be clinical trials? Or it might be feasible to do some medical tourism and find a cheap Airbnb for a month in Germany somewhere. Here's a recent peer-reviewed study about the efficacy of the vaccine, pubmed.ncb.nlm.nih.gov. Oh my god, this would improve my life so much. Fingers crossed it spreads globally so I can get it someday, so happy for you. That where you are in your menstrual cycle can affect your immune system. Ovulation lower immune system. Reasoning for it is to try to promote a pregnancy. Your immune system, basically, knows what's you and what isn't you and will attack what isn't you. Sperm isn't you. A zygote embryo is half you, half not you and might get attacked. It's why your skin may look better while you're ovulating and it's why pregnant women are immunosuppressed. Period. Strong immune system. It may be why you feel like shit before you get your period and why all those pimples pop up. Your body is now fighting off crap that your ovulation period let slip through, including pimples. We have no control over this. That's the part that kills me, we have zero control. The menstrual cycle can also affect things like endurance. Female distance runners perform better during and immediately after their period and worse around ovulation. It's equal parts fascinating and really annoying. I don't think they know why yet, but a lot of women with ADHD report that their symptoms get worse around their period. We actually know a lot less than we think about the menstrual cycle. It's very understudied. So there are probably more diseases affected by the cycle than not. If I were to guess, I would say the ADHD itself isn't affected, but when your hormones drop to allow the lining of your uterus to come out, you go through a kind of withdrawal like a mini menopause and you get brain fog, which of course is already difficult to deal with if one has ADHD. How to wash genitals. Many women have gotten infections due to not knowing how to wash themselves. Like fragrant soaps or douching is obviously bad but not taught very often. Edit, U2.B. This video by Anubjan will show you how to clean your vulva. Don't hold different standards for yourself that you wouldn't hold for the ones you care about. Just because there is another female present doesn't mean you are automatically safe. Women can be predators too. Edit, thank you for the awards. Ghislaine Maxwell is an excellent example of this also, Ghislaine Maxwell. How to negotiate a pay raise, higher salary, etc. Too many of us, girls and boys, are not taught how to advocate for ourselves and know our worth to employers. Last time I was offered a promotion at a corporate job, they were all, oh boy. And you'll get a $2 an hour raise. I said I'd call them back shortly. Did the math. With the amount of commissions I got on top of my hourly, they'd have to give me a $3 a raise just to match my average pay, not to mention the raise needed to cover my new responsibilities. I called back and told them as much, and said it'd take a $6 per hour raise to start, and if the store numbers went up in the first month by 10%, it'd take another $2 after 30 days, and we could renegotiate after 90 days of the promotion, depending on store numbers. They said they couldn't do that, so I said I'd stay in my current position. They called back within 5 minutes and agreed. I said I'd wait on the paperwork confirming it, and wouldn't you know it? It worked. Yes, always get a signed change form letter stating your new salary and effective date. Also, always check your pay stub to ensure that they are paying you correctly. Always check your pay stubs. I had a scumbag of a boss that somehow fudged my pay multiple times by paying me under my starting position, instead of the position I grew to over the years with them. Like somehow the 30 hours I had clocked in as the only cook in the kitchen were instead paid out to me under the busser wage. This happened more times than I could consider to be a fluke.